Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Zoom call for Wealth Warriors. It's Sunday, the 8th of February, 2026. It's 10 p.m. UK time. And so it's time for our standard presentation. My name's Andy Galloway, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. And if you're watching this by video, if you make it all the way to the end, then by all means, make a little comment at the make a comment just to say that you made it all the way to the end. I'm always interested to see that. Excellent. So we've had quite a few changes happening to things in the different platforms in the last few days. So I'm going to try and free up a little bit of time towards the end of the presentation. I don't normally focus that much on the platforms on this call. I normally do a call on a Wednesday for that. But I'm going to try and have a little bit of time so that when we get to what should be a short bit about the different platforms, that I can spend a few minutes on that and go through some of the changes, some of the things that are coming up. We've also got John with us, who's going to spend a few minutes at the end of the presentation talking about U-Chain. So there we go. It's an action-packed, fun-filled evening for us this evening. Without further ado, then I'm going to share my screen and we're going to start talking about my standard presentation that I've lined up for you. Okay, and we're up and running. So welcome to Wealth Warriors. So that's us, nice and serene, living in the lakes and mountains, living a life of freedom and abundance, and Bitcoin raining down on us. So you know that's what we're aiming for, is not to be constantly in battles with the powers that be, financial institutions and governments and so on. We want to be just living our own life, our own best life. According to our own rules, according to what we want, not according to rules that are imposed on us by somebody else. So that's why we are financial freedom fighters, and we're not financial freedom fighters for anyone else except ourselves. You're the financial freedom fighter in your own life, and if you don't do that, nobody else is going to be your financial freedom fighter. So either you do it or it doesn't get done. And some of us aren't prepared to live with those consequences. So nothing in this presentation is given as financial or investment advice, and we're not an investment platform. We are a community. We do promote online platforms, but we're very particular about those that we do. I was in a conversation with somebody earlier this week, earlier last week. We were talking about different platforms, and I realized I went back through all my notes, and since I started looking for platforms, not necessarily for Wealth Warriors, but just in general, about 4 years ago, I've investigated over 400 different platforms and companies, most of which did not meet our criteria at all. And I didn't even have any criteria then. They just looked kind of rubbish to me. So if you do decide to invest in any of the platforms discussed in the presentation, only use money you can comfortably afford to lose, because even though we think it's a good platform, we think it's going to last, we've got absolutely no guarantees because we're not running that company. The company can make all sorts of changes and decisions that are going to affect us, and they wouldn't think twice about doing that, which is the whole purpose of Wealth Warriors. We don't care what they do. We are prepared for anything. We're going to make sure that we take the best of what's out there and turn it to our own advantage. And if you're wondering how we can do that, you're about to find out. And I can still say this until about a week's time. I am not an employee or an agent of any of the companies mentioned herein. Okay, and I'll explain what I meant by my caveat when we get to that part. So what is the problem? Why can't we just get involved in a company, in a platform, sit back, enjoy the money? Okay, and the answer is that there's a few things wrong with online businesses. We may look back in the future and say, oh, I remember that. Well, that was like the wild, wild west. I'm glad it's calmed down. Or we may look back and say that was the time that things were really volatile and we were all making great money. We lost some, but what we won, what we win, we get more than what we lose when we lose. So we might think that, we don't know yet. But the biggest problem is there are just too many scams out there. I would say 97, 98% of all the platforms out there that purport to be online businesses are scams. And they hide it well. You know, they have a lot of followers. They have big conventions in Dubai and in Paris and all over the place. And they have famous people endorsing them. They people we know and trust, the networking gurus, they're all in these things. And when they tell us how great it is, we believe them. But when you look under the hood, if you're clever, you'll look under the hood and you'll find out pretty quickly it's a load of rubbish. Just because there's a lot of people in it doesn't mean it's not a load of rubbish. Okay, just a word of warning. There are some businesses that aren't scams, but they're poorly run. They go bust. Businesses go bust all the time. They have since time immemorial. Some businesses don't work, or they work for a while, then the economy changes, or people's desires change, or the price they price themselves out of existence. Whatever it is, things change and they don't adjust, so they go bust. And there are some businesses that are just they're perfectly okay, but the government decides to shut them down anyway, and that's based on a lot of things, most of which are arbitrary, most of which are based on opinions rather than fact. But there we go, the government has the power to cause a company to cease and desist, and everybody runs away like rats from a sinking ship, and that business then fails. Even if it was a legitimate business, the government can still shut it down. The thing is, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you can't be financially free. You need to do some of the other things that we do within Wealth Warriors that are part of the woven into the fabric of what we're trying to do as Wealth Warriors. Is not just about making money. Yes, we do want to make money, but we need to do some other things besides that, because we want to be free and we want to live a life of abundance. So what can we do about it? Well, on our own, probably not a lot, because we don't know what we don't know. We can't figure out what we just don't know, what we can't see. If we don't have the knowledge and experience to see through the veil, we just keep making the same mistake. We run around on the same treadmill that we've always been on, because we don't know any different. Collectively, we can help, but collectively, we can learn from each other. We can have a consensus and say, I think this, and somebody else says, I think that. Well, have you thought about this? Okay, we come up with something that either works or stands a good chance of working, because we none of us are as smart as all of us. It's as simple as that. And we're safer together. And what we want from safety is time. We want to start small and build for a long period of time, because if we build for a long period of time, we will eventually have a big business. By starting small, we can mitigate our risk. We don't have to put everything in. We don't have to sell the farm and put that money in, and sell our pension fund and put that money in, sell your kids, put that money in. Okay, you don't have to do that, because you can start small and build from there, because we have time. Now, there are some exceptions that we've recently changed our strategy a little bit. And sometimes what we do is we apply a strategy where, even though we can't plan that that platform is going to be there for a long time, we can plan to leave with more than we arrived. Okay, so together we're safer, and on our own we wouldn't have figured that out, but collectively we feed off each other, and so therefore we come up with better ideas, better ways of doing things. So why go to all the trouble of doing something different? Like I say, we can get involved in the platform, accept the whatever they're prepared to give us. Okay, what's wrong with that? Well, you don't get many benefits from doing that. You get benefits as long as the company's prepared to give you benefits. As soon as they change their mind, and we see this all the time, companies are doing one thing and then all of a sudden they stop doing that, and they say, I know I've got thousands and thousands of dollars of your money, and I'm prepared to give it back to you at 0.01% per day. So that's going to take like 3 years to repay your money. Or you can cash it all in and we'll give you this other token that's worth absolutely nothing. But you can do that. Or you can leave and you don't get anything for it at all, because that's just our rules. So they make up rules as they go along. They started off as a good company and all of a sudden they're not anymore. So we want some benefits. If we're going to do this, we want some benefits. We don't want to do it just for the fun of it. Benefit one, you will never lose all of your money to a scammer again. You will never hear me say, sell your pension, put all your money into this. Sell your house, put all your money into this. If you listen to some of these networking gurus, they don't say that as much as imply it. You get this going, you'll make $1 million in a year, and you put 10,000, 20, 30,000 into something and it's gone. You don't last the year, it's gone. Okay, but that will never happen to you if you stick with what we're doing with Wealth Warriors. And I was talking to somebody in Wealth Warriors the other day who said they'd lost all of their money in a scam. And I'm saying, what are you doing? Why are you even bothering to be part of Wealth Warriors? Don't do it. Go away. Do something else, because you'll just be unhappy. If I'm telling you you don't have to lose all your money and then you go and lose all your money, you'll just be miserable. So you're better off leave us alone, go and do your own thing, and you'll be happier. So anyway, so benefit two, you will protect your permanent network of contacts, because we don't want to be introducing our friends to things when they lose money, they hate us. And we hate ourselves as well for doing that. Okay, so the way we build this is you protect your permanent network. They don't hate you when a business fails. We keep them informed with what's happening. When a business fails, we've already protected them. We've already helped them build a strategy where it doesn't mean the end of the road for them. They don't get all upset with us. Benefit three, you will build future business faster with far more profit. I'm going to give you an example in a minute, or an illustration, and you will see that. Benefit four, you can put effort into building one business, and if as you introduce your people to Wealth Warriors, it's almost by osmosis. You end up growing all of the businesses we're involved with. So at the moment we have 5 platforms. You might be excited about one. You bring people into that platform, bring them along to Wealth Warriors, and we teach them about the other platforms. And all of a sudden they get into those platforms with you, and you're making money from those platforms, but you haven't put any effort into that. Benefit 5, you'll start small and build big over a period of time. We spoke about that. Benefit 6, and these are specific benefits you can get from one of the platforms we deal with, you can recoup loans you've had in the past. You can, and even if those loans are still outstanding, you can recoup the value of those loans. You can recoup your recent mortgages. You can recoup live mortgages you have currently. You can recoup expenditure from your bank accounts. Okay, you can recoup all this money over a period of time, and nobody else is teaching you to do that. Benefit 7, you can become free and wealthy and live an abundant life. And I don't just mean financially free, because that's not really free. You know, if you're free within the same control matrix that you've always had, then you're just a prisoner with a slightly better lifestyle. You still don't have control of your life. So we'll teach you how to do that. And there are 7 discrete and concrete benefits that you will receive of being a member of Wealth Warriors. When I say being a member, I mean kind of selling out to the idea of what we're trying to do with Wealth Warriors, not just half-heartedly, oh, well, I'll stick with you because I like some of the platforms. Do that by all means, but you're not going to get all of these benefits if that's how you behave. Get it, or either jump in and get wet all over, or don't. I'm not saying you can't wade in up to your knees. You can, of course. We'd be happy to have you on board, but don't believe you're going to get all of those benefits if you just sort of giving it a bit of a kick and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is give you an illustration. Here are some assumptions. Wealth Warriors deals with 4 platforms. So this is an assumption. It's not true. We have more than that. And imagine you have 10 people in each platform. You might have more, you might have less, you might have nobody. So this is just an illustration. And let's suppose you're making $1,000 per month in each platform. So that looks like this. You have 10 people in your team. You've introduced Alan, maybe your brother, Belle, maybe your sister, and Chris, your best friend. Maybe, I don't know. And they've introduced a few people. So you have 10 people in your team, and because of that activity in that business, you're making $1,000 per month. So that's platform 1. Now we bring in platform 2. It doesn't matter what platform 2 is, but what you do now is you introduce Alan and Belle and Chris in exactly the same positions in platform 2, and they introduce all of their friends in exactly the same positions in all of those platforms, or both of those platforms. So now your income goes up to $2,000 per month. Now, bear in mind, the people you've introduced, their income has doubled as well. If yours doubles, theirs will double. So let's move that out of the way to make room for platform 3. Platform 3 is exactly the same. You introduce the same people who introduce the same people. And so now we have 3 platforms on the go. Your income is $3,000 per month. And let's bring in a 4th platform, and exactly the same thing happens. Okay, you introduce the same people, they introduce the same people. Your income's $4,000 per month. But there we are. That's the finished product. That's Wealth Warriors. You're running 4 different platforms. You might get involved in platform 1 and be all excited, but you bring them to Wealth Warriors and we tell them about platforms 2, 3, and 4. And they say, this makes a lot of sense. I'm going to get into those. Okay, and so they do. They may not go nuts on them. They might like platform two better than platform one, and you don't even like it, but you got in anyway because you're a smart cookie. Okay, you're part of the team, so that's what you would do. And okay, so now something happens. Platform four, maybe the person running platform four decides doesn't want to do it anymore, packs it all up, gives everybody their money back. But now we don't. Yeah, I'm not against either losing a little bit of money or winning a little bit of money. That's fine, but it's the income we're after. So platform four, the income stops because platform four stops, and it doesn't matter why it stopped. So that's gone. Some of your income's gone, which means that you're left now earning $3,000 per month. So let's look at what happened. Let's suppose it was a scam or it turned into a scam and the guy ran away with all our money. Now, Alan is in 3 different platforms with you. He used to be in 4. He's in 3 different platforms with you. We've kept him informed about what's happened with platform 4. He knows it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's one of those things. But we've mitigated against it because we have 3 other platforms. Alan's not going to hate you. He's going to realize it's not your fault. He's also got his team to think about, and so he'll be understanding. He won't be all upset. He'll say, "Well, look, I've still got 3 platforms with you. Let's get on and find another platform." So that's how you protect your permanent network, is by not getting them involved in weird and wonderful things on their own. You get them involved in a system where they maintain the relationships with their people, you maintain the relationships with them. So my job then is to go and find platform 5. So here's platform 5. And as soon as we bring platform 5 on board, you introduce Alan and Belle and Chris, who introduce the same people to the same platform. Your income, sorry, in the same positions, your income goes back up to $4,000 per month. Everybody's happy. Alan's happy. Belle's happy. Chris is happy. Everybody's happy because, we've maintained the income, or we've built the income back up again, and we can go and get involved in platforms 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no reason we couldn't run 20, 25, maybe even 30 different platforms like this. Of course, there are different criteria as we're building up the number of platforms. So, as well as meeting our criteria, they've got to be very simple to run. We don't want to have to spend hours and hours learning about new platforms and so on. With 25 platforms, you haven't got time for that. You want your business to take you maybe a couple of hours a week to do everything on 25 platforms. So that's how we build. That's why we build. So what are the rules then? I said several times, if you want to do just your own thing, go and do it. There are no rules then, just do what you want. That's fine. But if you want the benefits, of course, you've got to do things in a certain way, which means there are rules. Now, I hate rules, probably more than all of you put together, more than anybody ever going to watch this video. All of you put together, I hate rules more than you lot. Okay. But if you want the benefits, then there's no ifs, buts, and maybes. You must follow the rules. You can't second guess it. The price of success, you can't negotiate it. You just pay it or don't pay it. Simple. If you do it half-heartedly, you won't achieve success. It's like saying, I'm gonna get halfway across this river. I'm gonna get 3/4 of the way across the river. Well, that's no good, is it? You swim 3/4 of the way across the river, and then what? You drown. Okay, so you either do it all or don't do it. That's what I would suggest. So rule 1, don't sign up on any other platform that comes along. And I've alluded several times to, if you want to be a wealth warrior, sell out to it. And this is one of the things, and most people don't like this. Don't sign up on any other platform that comes along. If it's a good platform, we will get involved with it at some point. And so bring it to me, make a case for why it's a good platform, and we'll look at it. And if it's good, we'll adopt it. Because then we can bring it into the system. If you're doing it on your own, then that's what you've always done. You'll always get the same results you've always had. And most people are trying to avoid that. So, they want to get away from that type of thing where it's all hit and miss and they lose money to scammers. And then I show them Wealth Warriors, we show them Wealth Warriors, and they say, oh, well, that's fine, but I don't like it. Or I'm only going to do half of it, or I'm only going to do a little bit. I like this platform, I don't like that platform. Okay, it's crazy. So don't sign up on any other platform that comes along, because you will destroy what you're trying to build with your team of people. If they see you adopting any other platform that's not part of the system, they'll do the same. And pretty soon you don't have a community. You've got a bunch of people that are just doing whatever they like. And look where that's got them so far. So do sign up in all the platforms that we have. Simple. Don't second guess it. No need to second guess it. Just do it. If it's wrong, we'll all fail that platform together. But we will, we will all succeed together in the long run, because that's part of, failing a few platforms is part of the process. Do maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. Sorry, I'll just go back to point two. If you start, if we were talking and I were to say to people, get involved in all the platforms, we try to make sure they all succeed. And then you pipe up and say, well, my team didn't get involved in that platform. Then other people will start saying, well, I don't want to get involved in that platform. Okay, and that's fine. People are free to do that, but then you won't get the benefits of what we're trying to do. It'll be, you'll be running your own show. So do maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. That's the most important thing. That's the number one. That's why we have criteria for these platforms, so that we can maintain lines of sponsorship. Do get your personally introduced people to do the same, and do support your own people by learning about all the platforms that we adopt. Now, most of the platforms we adopt start off very simple, and over time they get more and more complicated. They add in a Visa card, and they add in a new trading system. They add in some other things, okay? We like to just stick with the reason we got involved in the first place, which is to make some passive income and build a team who can all make some passive income and build a team. That's what we want. All this other stuff that comes onto the platforms, and again, I'm not saying don't get involved with it, but I won't be promoting all those new extra things. Never have, never will. We just want the passive bit and the team building bit, and that's all. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking for. So you don't need to be a guru on all of these platforms. You can just learn how to do the passive bit and build a team. If you can do that, then you're golden. And you can have that knowledge and information for about 30 different platforms. You don't need, if you get involved in all these extra bits, and when it gets more complicated and they change things and so on, then all of a sudden you cut down on the amount of time you're going to need, or you're going to increase the amount of time you need to run your business. Did I cover that last one? Do support your own people. Yeah, got that. The rules are to ensure that you get security of income. It's not just as I can say, look, I've made some rules. Like I say, I hate rules. But if on the one hand I can have security of income, build my permanent network, become wealthy and live an abundant life, and in return all I've got to do is follow some very simple rules. They're not onerous. They're not going to break your back. They're not going to cost you money. It's just a discipline. Discipline always gets you the results. Then I'm going to do that. That's a no-brainer for me. Being community-centric means you put the community first, and I've had examples again this week where these big networking gurus say, oh, I always put my people first. People first, money second. And then given the opportunity, they kick people out of their teams because they're not doing what they think they should do. And and you've always got to have a look, one eye on the long game. Okay, so just because somebody's not doing things right now, if you kick them out, they'll never do it right. If you take them under your wing and train them, and motivate them, coach them a little bit, get somebody else to coach them if you can't do it yourself, then eventually they can really benefit from the system, and then they'll contribute to your income further down the road. Don't worry about it now. If you help enough people do the right thing, you will benefit financially in the long term. So yes, I don't say that lightly. And many of you know I've spent hours and hours and hours on Zoom calls helping you sort out issues, problems, sometimes just, holding your hand a little bit when you're going through some things. It's not about the money. I love the money. I can't wait to get all the money. Okay. I love the money I'm getting, but that's not what this is about for me. Remember, platforms come and go, but the community is permanent. I could do a seminar just on that one statement. And if you don't follow the rules of Wealth Warriors, you can't really claim to be a Wealth Warrior. There's no badge for you to wear. There might be one day. We might open up a merch store and you get some Wealth Warriors merch. Probably not though. Okay, but if you're not following the rules, what makes you a wealth warrior? I don't know if I'm explaining that very well. I know what I meant when I wrote it. So what are the criteria? It must be available everywhere. It must have a unilevel compensation plan, and people must be able to join for free or for a very small, very low entry cost. Because without that, when we come across one of those platforms, some of your people will be able to get in and some won't. And in that case, you'll be breaking lines of sponsorship, because we need all three of those things to maintain lines of sponsorship. And a lot of the platforms I look at and I say, thank you for inviting me, but I won't be getting involved. And they're making great money. They love it. They're excited about it. Okay, but I say no because it doesn't meet those criteria. There are some other criteria as well. It must be based in real world applications, not just a money game or a shell game. We must be able to verify the company's legal status if there is a company. If it's all driven by smart contracts, then there's a different way of assessing a smart contract. And really, as long as the smart contract isn't being altered, then the evidence that that smart contract did what it was meant to do last week means it's going to do it this week. Okay, because it's just a piece of code running on some computer somewhere. But if it's a company, we want to make sure they're a legitimate company. They're carrying out real world activities. They have trained people, reputed management, startup capital, all these wonderful, wonderful things you'd expect from a major corporation. If possible, we must be able to meet the CEO or the business owner. And the compensation plan must be viable and sustainable. And we must all be able to get behind it. So again, I was offered something to do with gambling. And when I said we don't get involved in gambling, they said, well, you can also do gaming. And I said, we don't do gaming either. They thought I was just stonewalling them, but I wasn't. It's one of our criteria. So the platforms we've adopted, one is the Republic of Old Souls, and this is an important one. It's not really an online business, it's an online system. And it's part of the freedom movement, because if you want to become free from financial control, governmental control, all these other controls that cause you to do things in your life that you just really don't want to do, like pay taxes and things like that. Okay. If you want to be free from all of that, then you need to know what you're doing. So these people provide the education. You can join for free and learn from all the videos and ebooks and so on. Then you say, well, actually, I like the look of this. I like the look of this protocol. Maybe it's the infinite money protocol. Maybe it's the mortgage liberation protocol. Maybe it's the fortress asset. So the asset fortress protocol, whatever it is, you say, I like the look of that. I want to do it. So you pay some money. And having paid the money, you are now a paid member. You have access to some extra things. And what they will do is they will provide for you, they'll open up parts of the platform where you can do things to affect that process, put that process in place. So, for example, if you wanted to get into the infinite money protocol, which is where you claim back, so you recoup the money that you spent from your bank accounts in the last 3 years. So you pay your money. They then open up that part of the platform, and you can fill in all sorts of information about your bank accounts. You can download your statements and mark them up, come up with some totals for what left your bank account in the last 3 years, and upload it all, sign it all electronically, push a button, and that's it. It's in process now. Then they'll do some things. Somebody else will do some things, and you'll have to tick something else off, sign an agreement, or sign some sort of document, whichever process you're going through. Okay, and so they guide you with that every step of the way. At the end of it, then you recoup that money. But they don't do it for you. You've got to do it for yourself, but they make it. It's still complicated, don't get me wrong. You still have to watch the videos. You need to learn what you're doing. You need to know how to do it, but they will guide you every step of the way. They won't do it for you. So that's, and I say the infinite money protocol. The last time I checked, they've got about 10 or 11 different protocols that you can, you can take advantage of. So that's the Republic of Old Souls. Like I say, you can join for free. Now, if you want to introduce other people, you can become an advocate, and all you do is request to become an advocate, and they'll give you they'll let you be an advocate. They'll open up part of the platform where you can introduce people to be members. And when the members make a purchase, you receive a small commission. And when the members receive their money at the end of their protocol, you get a small commission for that. Although it's a small commission, it's a small commission of a lot of money. If you want to introduce advocates, then what you need to do is to upgrade to an advocate organizer, so advocate originator, so that you can introduce members and you can also introduce advocates. And the same thing applies there. You can earn a commission for helping your members, but you can also earn a commission for helping your advocates. And of course, if you're helping an advocate and the advocate's helping a lot of members, then the commissions off of that can be very, very significant. So there's no charge for being an advocate or an advocate organizer, originator. I'd recommend you do both. So BitNex is a DeFi staking program. Very, very clever setup. Basically, what you do is you purchase a smart contract, and what you do is you pay a setup fee, and a setup fee per contract is $100. So that's it. You don't have any. You're not staking any money. That money is being used to set up the smart contract. The smart contract then borrows some money from a bank and also sets up an insurance policy to cover that loan. So if something goes wrong, the insurance company repays the bank. Then what happens is the smart contract starts staking that money that you borrowed from the bank. And it's typically $30,000 or $43,000 that you're going to borrow from the bank. For your $100 or $1,000 will give you $43,000. Sorry, no, $100 could still get you the $43,000. And that's the money that stakes. And so you only get a small percentage every day, but it's a small percentage of $30,000 or $43,000. And so you let these contracts run for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years, depending on what you ask for at the beginning. And then you will receive the payout at the end. Throughout the lifetime of the contract pays off the insurance policy, or pays the insurance policy, I should say, every month in advance. It pays the bank interest every year in arrears. And at the end, it repays all of the bank loan, make sure all the things that needed to be paid have been paid, and then you walk away with what's left. So typically a 2-year contract will return over $20,000, and a 3-year contract will return over $35,000. A 5-year contract, you borrow more money, you get a better interest rate. And so you typically that's going to be around about $450,000. And a 7-year contract is typically about 1.4 million after 7 years. Okay. You can also buy packs of the 2-year and 3-year contracts. So you get 15 contracts for $1,000. You get 5 extra contracts, which is an immediate uplift of 50% on your money. Viralio. Oh, we've had some fun with Viralio. Now, the good news is Viralio is fixed and going to be up and running. It's going to be up and running in just over a week. On the 17th is the official second launch. So we're going to call it Viralio 2.0. And I'm going to be doing a pre-launch meeting tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK time. I'll be posting the link for that in the Telegram group. So, get back to the person who introduced you to get the link for that. And it's going to be awesome. So here's a very, very brief overview. Basically, you get involved in Viralio and you have to put $100 in a pot, and that's what's going to be paying for the service. You don't pay anything right now. You just put the money in and that pays for the service. Although bear in mind that is non-refundable. Then what you do is you fund your Binance exchange and connect it to your Viralio account. And Viralio will produce signals, send them through to Binance for you, and you will trade. When you make some profit, so let's suppose you make $1,000 profit, so make $100 profit, then the money that you put into your Viralio account, $10 will be taken to pay for that service. So basically, you're paying 10% for the profit that you've made in your trading account with Binance. Now, a lot of people don't have access to Binance, or the Binance account they do have access to doesn't allow this sort of setup with API keys. So what we've done is set up a second option, which is where you can buy a share or a number of tokens. We call them TCT tokens. They're not available on the the exchanges or anything like that. It's just an internal token that we use in Veralio. And you can buy some. So let's suppose the TCT tokens are worth $1 and you want to put $100 in, you buy 100 tokens. Okay, and then at a later stage, the token is worth more money. Say it's worth $200. Now you want to sell your tokens and take out that money. You can take out $200. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. Is for people who don't have access to Binance, the TCT will be traded in Binance as a way of making your money, but we may do something else with that money as well. We may also do some arbitrage. We may do some Forex trading. But at the moment, this is all set up to be trading in cryptocurrencies. So that's the workaround, if you like, for people who don't have access to a Binance account. The good news is, or the bad news for people who have their own Binance account is they're responsible for their own fees. The good news is for people that want to get involved in the community tokens, the TCT tokens, is that they don't have to pay any exchange fees. Whatever profit they make is the profit they make. I was going to say something else. So we're launching tomorrow. So I'm doing a pre-launch meeting tomorrow, and I'm going to explain about a promotion that we're going to be running, and we're going to be giving away mining rigs. Okay, we're going to be giving away mining rigs that you can have and earn the income from for 2 years, completely free of charge. We expect in that time, I'll tell you tomorrow how much you can earn per mining rig and what the different criteria are for earning a mining rig for free. But the big one is fully expected that within that 2-year period, somebody would earn $1 million. Okay, and Becky knows a little bit about this because Becky and I were thinking of buying some of these mining rigs a little while ago. So, so that's something to look forward to tomorrow, the pre-launch of Veralio 2.0. E-estate is a recent addition. It's to do with tokenized real estate. So what they do is they get a hold of a property. The property company is called Elo Property Group Limited. They've been in business, sorry, not limited, incorporated. They've been in business now for 50 years. When I checked them out, I went all the way back to the very beginning, saw their first financial reports to the US government, how much they, their staff and their members, the directors, the starting capital, what their last financial report was. I checked them out for 50 years. I even went back to 1997 and looked at their first website that they put up. Okay, so it's a real company, real people, real properties. And what they do is they take a property and they tokenize it, turn it into tokens. And then through e-estate, we can buy some of those tokens. And in effect, we're buying a share of that property because we own the tokens. And those tokens will pay us every single day, Monday to Friday. Typically, during the first 18 months, you would earn back between 2.5 times and 3.5 times however much money you deposited. So the beauty of this is you don't have to buy the whole villa. You can buy $1,000 of a villa, $10,000 of an apartment in Dubai. You can buy £750 worth of an apartment in Miami. Okay, you can buy as big or as little as you want, diverse properties and diverse locations. In a real estate business, if you wanted to be buying properties in different countries, it would be impossible for you to do unless you're a major player in the real estate world. Here you can do it with a cup of coffee before breakfast in your pajamas if you want to. It takes about 2 minutes to buy a property. In fact, probably less than that now. Okay, so that's e-estate. You can see if you're going to earn back that much money in the first 18 months, it's easy then to, with that profit, to buy some more properties. With that profit, buy some more properties. So you can compound by buying more properties. There is a setup where you can make sure that the property from that, sorry, the profit from that property goes back into that property. So you own more and more and more of the same property, but then you don't get any money to take out and do other things with if you want to. There's also deals where you put a lot of money in, but I only say a lot of money because they're a big deal. You need to be a sophisticated buyer with e-estate. And you can put, for example, $100,000 into a land development deal. During that 18 months, you'll earn back about 3.5 times or just over 3 times. So you get back $300,000. Then you get your $100,000 back at the end of 18 months. Okay, so you've quadrupled your investment in 18 months. That's nothing I've ever seen before in real estate. In real estate, you pay out and then you pay out some more. And then just for the fun of it, you pay out some more. And then when you do sell the property and you make some profit, then you carry on paying out anyway. So I've never seen anything like that at all. So e-estate, sorry, there is one other thing, and that is with the most of the properties, if they don't give you money back at the end of the 18 months, which is most of them don't do that, then you go into a passive phase for the rest of the time we have that property, which might be 20, 30, 40 years, and you receive 10% per year for the rest of that life, rest of the life of that property, or the rest of your life. Eventually, the property gets disposed of, and then you get your share of the profits back again. So if they were to dispose of the apartment in Miami that they were selling last year, okay, everybody would have doubled their money. I think I got that right. It doesn't matter if it's doubled or 1.5 times or whatever. If they were to sell that property now, people that have bought some of those tokens would have would be doubling that, so would be getting a massive increase. You can find out what the exact figures are because you can download the financial report for 2022. Sorry, 2025, because professional companies, real companies, legitimate companies do things like publish financial reports. And they wouldn't publish a financial report for the IRS to have a look at if they weren't doing things properly. Okay, that's a recipe for disaster. You're going to do things under the covers, under the counter, if you like. Things not quite right. Oh, but by the way, I'm going to publish a financial report to tell the IRS how much money we made last year. No, people don't do that. That's crazy. Okay, and then finally, Lumex. Lumex is a great business we started about 3 months ago now, and it's involved in what some people refer to as micro arbitrage. The reason it's micro arbitrage is because it deals with very, very small amounts of money, but it does it over and over and over again, really, really quickly. Somebody asked me the other day to explain this to them, and what I said was that imagine you've got a company over here that's going to buy some Bitcoin, maybe from a company called Robinhood. Okay, so they're going to send their money from their Exodus wallet to Robinhood, and they've agreed when they set that up, they've agreed that they're going to buy that Bitcoin from Robinhood at this price. Now our AI quantitative arbitrage engine says, they're doing that deal. I can actually get them Bitcoin cheaper than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step in the middle of that deal, and they do it literally. They do it on the back of the node, just on the back of the node that's or one of the nodes. It doesn't matter because I'll go through that transaction. Will go through several nodes on the way to completion. So step in the middle of the process and say, right, so I can buy Bitcoin at a cheaper price over here. So I'm going to take that bit, I'm going to buy that Bitcoin, put it over there. They're happy because they're paying, although they're paying more than we paid for it, they're paying what they agreed with Robinhood. They're just not doing it with Robinhood anymore. And then we say we then take our side of the deal with Robinhood, okay, and we carry on and pay Robinhood for what they thought they were going to get. So we put ourselves in the middle and we've made some money on that deal. And it happens in fractions of a second, almost instantaneously. The buy and the sell over here and the buy and the sell over there meet in the middle and happen within, if you look at the time clocks that go down to 100th of a second, they're the same 100th of a second. So they happen within the same very, very short period of time. And that's how they make money. So you can actually see in the back office, you can see they got involved in this deal, they made $10. They got involved in this deal, they made $7. They got involved in that deal, they made $500, whatever it is. Okay. And so when they make money, some of that money belongs to us who have money staked in the system. And you see they're making money every single day, every few seconds, every day. And you can watch it. It just scrolls up the screen in front of you. You can pause it and have a look at it. You can go and check all of those transactions on the blockchain. You can see the transaction hash for the first part of the transaction. You can see the transaction hash for the other one, and you can see the figures, and it'll all tie up. They made that much money. Simple. You can check it. Okay, so I've never seen anything like this before at all. It's and it has many different types of arbitrage. They do things like triangular arbitrage, brick arbitrage. They do arbitrage over a period of time rather than instantaneous. And and they also have a fully functional exchange. I've never seen anything like this exchange either. Fast, reliable, it's on the Lightning Network, and it's really, really cheap. A couple of weeks ago, I did 2 transactions. One just an ordinary transaction on the Tron network. I only sent somebody $20, and it cost about, I think it was about over $6. No, it wasn't. It was $5.89 or something like that. Okay, so that was just to send $20 of USDT, and I did a similar thing through the Lumex exchange, and it cost less than half a cent, and it was faster. So when people use the exchange, and more people are going to be using the exchange, at those prices, you're going to be using the exchange, and we make profit from that. So as well as getting great rates and a good, reliable service, and the transactions all become untraceable because of something called a mixing engine that they chuck in there. Okay, so as well as that, we still make money from that, and that's pretty phenomenal. So they're the 5 different platforms we have. They all have the same structure, is that you can do things that are passive, and you can also build a team of people and benefit from a team building income in all 5 of these platforms. So I just said this, all of the above adopted platforms have programs for additional rewards for taking part in team building. Some people don't like team building, but it is optional. And I'll tell you why a lot of people don't like team building. It's because they've had this experience in the past where they introduce their friends, neighbors, and relatives to a platform. The platform goes bust, their friends lose money, and their friends now hate them, taking them off the Christmas card list, don't invite them along to a Thanksgiving dinner, and they hate themselves for having put their friends in that position. If they now get involved in Wealth Warriors and understand it and do what we're advocating, and bring their friends along to Wealth Warriors, who then learn the process as well, they won't ever be in that position again. They can build a team. They can begin to gain confidence to build a team. Even though it didn't work for them in the past, it's because they were doing what the company said in the past. They were doing what their networking guru said in the past. Oh, I think of people first and money second. No, they don't. Okay, whereas here, this is totally transparent. You know what I'm thinking because I'm telling you, and you can see it, and you can watch my actions, and that's exactly what I do. And so you'll look at your upline. If they're following Wealth Warriors, you'll see it. You'll know they'll be doing what we're talking about here. Okay, and if people do that, they don't have to worry about the people they bring in. They can have confidence that those people will basically they will make money from their online activities. Okay, it might not be every single platform, but in general, they will make money over a period of time. So people begin to get confidence that they can, they can go back to building a team. So our communications, we run a Telegram supergroup. Each of those platforms have their own topic within the supergroup. Make sure you get added to that. We have this Zoom call every Sunday. Attend yourself, bring new people, because if I can show them how Wealth Warriors works, it saves you having to do it. And I don't know about you, I can't do that in person. I can do it on a call like this. I can do it by sending them a video. I can't do it in person. And you probably can't either. You can attend the Zoom calls of the platforms. Their schedule is published in the Telegram group. And for the Republic of Old Souls, join and work your way through the webinars and books at your own pace, but get the first roadmap completed as soon as possible. Don't waste too much time because the process is very long. It's going to take months to get the results you're looking for. So don't think, oh, I'll leave it for a while, then I'll do it, and then I'll get started, then I'll get all this money by the summer. No, if you want the money by the summer, go and start learning it now. Even so, if you want to get all this money by the summer, you've really got to pull out all the stops because it's not a fast process. So what do you do now? You get the referral links for all the platforms from the person who invited you to this presentation. They should have 5 links they can give you. If you've already joined them in one, then they've got 4 other links to go. So register in all the opportunities and make a note of all your referral links and pass these links on to your existing frontline members or to people that you invite to see this presentation. Make a minimum payment into all the opportunities. And if you can't do that, just get involved in the one that interests you the most. Now, somebody was saying to me earlier today, I think, I can't remember now, they said, if I don't get this, if I don't buy a contract myself and I introduce people and they buy contracts, will I get commission? I said, no, you won't. But don't not invite them just because of that. Okay. If you invite them now, yes, you miss out on that bit of commission, but then by the time they buy new contracts, you've already You've already got your contract on the go. So if it takes you 4 weeks to get that platform funded, don't stop people getting involved just because you're going to miss out on some commissions. That's crazy. Okay, they need to see these platforms. Get yourself added to the Telegram group, attend Zoom calls. And as we're in the future, when we add platform 6, make sure we get the referral link, join as quickly as possible, pass your referral link to your existing team, and get on a presentation for that new platform as soon as possible. The idea behind this is if you've got 1,000 people in your group, it should be all 1,000 people join that new platform in, let's say, a week, 7, 8 days, something like that. It shouldn't take 6 months for the link to be passed all the way down to the bottom of the group. Okay, everybody should be getting that link, signing up, passing their link, signing up, passing that link, signing that up. Okay, because that's how you build businesses much, much faster, having a system like this. So grow your Wealth Warriors community by bringing people to the Wealth Warriors Zoom calls. Then you only have to promote 1 or 2 platforms, the ones that you're excited about, the ones you're knowledgeable about. You don't need to be knowledgeable about all of them. You just need to have a working knowledge, but not a guru. And then bring them along to learn why they should sign up in all 5 platforms. So you get a free BitNext landing page. Talk to the person who introduced you. They'll give you this link. And once you're registered in BitNext, you can replace this bit with your BitNext wallet ID, and then that's it. Send that to people. You have a landing page, and on the landing page there are videos, words of explanation. There's a video there about somebody who recently withdrew $400,000. People keep saying, "So have we got any examples of people that have, received these payouts?" Yes, there's one on your landing page. So use it. There's a presentation on your landing page. There's all sorts of things, really, really good information on that landing page. So that's when you give to people when they click a button to say join now, they join as part of your BitNext business. There's a pre-made customizable landing page available on your e-estate for your e-estate business. Now, with e-estate, I didn't say this, you only get access to that once you become an agent. If you're a buyer, if all you're doing is buying properties, then you won't be introducing other people. You don't need a referral link. If you want to be an agent, then you can introduce buyers and other agents, so you need a referral link. Whoever introduced you to this will explain that to you over time when you're ready to join up in it. So there are marketing materials for every single platform. There's marketing materials and email, dummy emails or examples, YouTube channels. Everything can be found for each of the 5 platforms. The point is we're building a solid foundation on which we can base our financial futures. We don't want to be beholden to anybody else. We only work with companies that are in it for the long term, as far as we can determine. We might not be right 100% of the time. We only work with companies that are above board, as far as we can tell. We build a large asset, which in turn will deliver us a large income. So if it's contracts, we want a lot of them. If it's real estate, we want a lot of them. Okay, only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered. And people do get annoyed with me when I say no, but we've got to maintain the purity of the brand. Otherwise, we'll all be bogged down with platforms that are kind of half right, a little bit of a loose fit, but we just need to bend this and massage that a little bit. And that means we can't have 30 different platforms. If we've got to do something different with all of them, we can't have 30 platforms. We'll be limited to about 6. Okay, so that's one of the reasons we have rigorous criteria. The point is we apply our rules to this industry because we want our outcomes. We don't want the company to dictate what our outcomes are going to be. We don't want our upline, the networking gurus, to determine what our outcomes are going to be. We want our own outcomes. Your outcomes are different from mine. We can both have what we want, but we need to follow the rules, because without it, people say this is the wild, wild west. It's only the wild, wild west if you act like a cowboy. Okay, if you act like a real intelligent person, even the wild, wild west wasn't that wild. Finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and in the world of online opportunities at all times. Do not share your password or other credentials with anyone. And where it's available, set up your 2FA on your accounts. And if you don't know what that is, ask someone, they'll tell you. Google will tell you. You'll find it in the FAQs for that platform. They'll tell you how to do it. Basically, it's the last line of defense you've got. If you haven't set up 2FA and that site gets hacked, that provider gets hacked, then you could lose your account. If you set up 2FA, then that's your only protection that you're in control of. And then back up your passwords and your 2FA codes in a secure location. And then make sure somebody knows where those passwords and 2FA codes are. I've got a file that I update it and print it off it periodically. And it says, all the different platforms I'm involved with, how to withdraw money, what to look for, which buttons to press to go and check these things, how to download it, how to get the money out onto a Visa card, whatever it is. Okay. So I suggest you do the same. You haven't got to. But if something were to happen to me, then the executors of my living will, power of attorney, all my beneficiaries, who, whichever one I've chosen, will have access to that information. I suggest that you do the same. So there we have it. Welcome to Wealth Warriors. That's a standard presentation about how Wealth Warriors works. A little bit more detail about the platforms than I normally go into. So I've done that all within the hour, so that's pretty good. I've made enough room to do that because I didn't give many examples of many things. Apparently somebody told me that I shouldn't do that. So get back to the person who invited you on this call or referred you to this video. They're ready and waiting to help you avoid scams, protect your permanent network, and create immense personal wealth. That's what they're there for. Now, I'm going to come back to the room, and I've actually asked, we've got John on the call today. John is, I was going to say a bit of a guru, but I've just spent the last hour telling you why you shouldn't listen to gurus. John's becoming very, very successful in an organization or a company, a platform called UChain. And UChain, we promote within Wealth Warriors as being a good business. It just doesn't meet our criteria, so we haven't taken it on as part of our system. But it is a good business. There's a lot of wealth warriors who've gotten into UChain and are making some money from it, making good progress in that. So I've asked John just to spend 5 minutes or so explaining it to you, so it's on the video, and also you can have a listen to it. So if you do want to get involved in UChain, get in touch with John. He's available through the Telegram group. Just ask him can I send you a private message? And he'll say, sure, no problem. Okay, and John's going to just explain to us within 5 minutes or however long it takes him, really, I suppose, about UChain, why it's good, why he thinks he is good for everyone. So, John, you can unmute yourself and come and say hi.
Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. So I got some slides to present. Okay. See that?
Not yet? Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so yes, this is UChain, which is the network marketing side of Ultima. We use Ultima and UChain interchangeably. So going forward, Ultima as a coin is it's like a blue chip coin, if you will, and it's been verified on CoinMarketCap and Certic. The price, it's the second highest price coin on the market behind Bitcoin. It's roughly about just over $5,000 per coin. Okay, and this is the CEO. As you can see, his face is everywhere. He's very popular in Dubai. So he's not afraid to show off. And the product we have, one of the products we have is bot trading. We trade Ultima, and we can trade Bitcoin. Now, Ultima is more profitable, and it's simply grid trading, and that is with spot, not futures. Okay. So this is the past performance of the bot. So as you can see, some months are good, some are not so good. But overall, it's 155% within that year. Now, what we've done is we've diversified a bit and we've gone back to basics, because what we're doing, we're still doing the trading, but now we're also doing freezing. And what freezing is, it's similar to staking, or it's similar to a fixed savings account in which you lock up your asset, you lock up your Ultima, and you get paid a daily reward. So you get paid you get paid a trickle of Ultima each day. And what people like about this is that it's in your decentralized wallet, um, and it's executed on the blockchain when you freeze it. So it's in your possession. No one can touch it. The company can't touch it. You alone have access to it. So that's Ultima freezing. So yeah, you just basically lock up your coins in your wallet for periods of time, and that reduces the circulating supply. And the company say, thank you very much. Here's some Ultima every day. And then you just click a button on your wallet and you get paid every day. And with that, there's a promotion on with a turbo split in which you get an additional trickle of Ultima every day. So that's very popular. And then you've got the U Lucky tokens, which is kind of like a raffle basically, and it gives you the chance to win prizes. One Bitcoin being the highest prize, and that will start in a few weeks. And yeah, the U energy, don't focus too much on that. You just need energy or gas fees to make transactions in the wallet, that's all. Yeah, so here's some calculations on the trading and the freezing. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but as you can see, it's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of potential, and these are projections. And we've got the bonus, and it's going to reduce. It's going to gradually reduce per week. So if you want to get stuck in, ideally earlier is the better. And this is the compensation plan. So direct bonus is 20%. So if you refer your friend and they're directly under you, you get 20% for what they purchase. That's what I focus on mainly. And then what gives Ultima as a coin and a company utility are these products here in this circle. And my favorite being the freezing and splitting. So yeah, freezing and the splits, because I like just going on my wallet every day and clicking the claim button, and that's it. It's very simple. So thank you very much.
That's great, John. Thanks very much. And so did I say that right, that if they want to get involved, then they just get hold of you in the Telegram group?
Yeah, if you want to get involved, message me on Telegram or WhatsApp.
There is a topic within our Telegram setup. There is a topic just for U-chain, so you can get in there and just ask John, well, ask him anything really, ask questions, swap information, get personal details. So excellent. So I'm going to, that's really the end of the video. I will stay behind after the video. We can have a question and answer session. But those of you watching by video, that's the end of the show for you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here in person, you guys. And thank you for watching the video to the end. I do appreciate it. I always appreciate it when people want to hear and share these ideas or take on board these ideas. I think is something the world's been looking for a long time. And I know it's difficult to trust something when you put in a lot of stake in things. And we've all got lots of past experience and baggage, right? We're all very wary and very suspicious of everything. But I think that if not Wealth Warriors, the world needs something like this where we can band together, we can not get involved in things that would otherwise be detrimental to our time and our money. But do get involved and have a support system for those things that do enhance our attempts to become or to live an abundant life. So I commend Wealth Warriors to to look into a little bit more deeply, understand what we're trying to do here, and hopefully get involved with it. So I'm going to do a Zoom call tomorrow night for Viralio 2. From next week, when there's a launch, I won't be able to say that I'm no longer involved in any company, because Viralio has asked me to become part of their team. So I will be part of the team for Viralio 2. I'll be basically the liaison between all of the members and or the service users, is what I believe we're going to call them, and the company. So that's going to be my job. Yeah, so I won't be able to say I'm completely independent, because I'm not. So Monday, Zoom call for Viralio. That's the pre-launch. I'm going to give you the details of the promotion. I'm going to give you also an overview of the marketing material that we've prepared so far for Viralio 2.0. And Wednesday, I'm doing a Wealth Warriors call, same time, same channel, 10 p.m. UK time. That's going to be focusing predominantly on the platforms. Thursday, I do an e-estate call, which is just basically about the brand new people looking at e-estates. That'll be 8 p.m. UK time. And then next Sunday, I'll do another call. I was going to say similar to this, but I don't think it will be similar, but it will be in this time slot, 10 o'clock UK time next Sunday. That's suitable then for you bringing people along to learn about Wealth Warriors. The one on Wednesday isn't suitable for bringing people to learn about Wealth Warriors. We're just talking about platforms, and it will confuse brand new people who don't know about Wealth Warriors. So that's it. Thank you for your time and attention, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless.
I want to see you win. I want to see you absolutely smash every single dream you have. I want to see you overcome all of the barriers you face, and I want to see you succeed. I'm your biggest fan, your top supporter, and I'll be with you every single step of the way. You're destined for greatness, with or without me, and I want to see you achieve. Your potential is limitless, and your determination is inspiring. Keep striving for your goals, and I'll continue to cheer you on.